let's have it right. Up the Chels, up the Chels FC, let's have it right. Minerals FC. Gaffer, you got the minerals, yeah? Love it. Got the minerals, TT.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.
Let's have it right. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. I am absolutely buzzing, people. Buzzing like a bee. We've got the 3 points. Let's have it right. First and foremost, everybody, like the video. It's very important, guys. Anyone in here, like that video. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I've also got my membership scheme, which is pinned at the top of the live chat. Please, if you want to be part of the Minerals FC community, you're more than welcome, and that'll be appreciated. And also, land your soup minerals, people, if you want. Let's have it right. Big up to everyone in here. Good evening to you lot. Let's start off with running through the chat, as I always do. And let's see who's in here. Big up to Cameron. He's in here. Let's have it right. You know it. I haven't shown a lot of fight today. Yes, he did. He's got the minerals. Stretter's in here. Big up, Johnny. COVID got me, but tonight minerals will repair me. Let's have it right. My geezer. My geezer. Mavs in here. According to some, Havertz was absolutely useless today. I thought we did okay. We'll get into that. Don't you worry, people. Don't you worry. The Bang's in here. Up, Johnny. Let's have it right. Our Gaffer got the minerals. Super Tommy Tuchel. I love my Gaffer. I love my Gaffer. I love my Gaffer. 100%. Alan's in here. Big up, Johnny. Let's have it right. We showed character today. Exactly right. Exactly right. Pedro Neves in here says red card FC at the moment. Lol. Yeah, it was. Gilmore Gallagher. I mean, listen, it's up to the up to the Gaffer that he plays Gallagher. Nutty Blues in here. Zigga zagga, zigga zagga. Oi, oi, oi. Hello, hello. We are the Chelsea boys. We know it. We know it. Lovely to see you in here, geezer. Lovely to see you in here. Rian's in here. Sterling delivered the minerals. He did indeed. Top Bin's in here. Big up, Johnny. Love the link up with Robbie Di Matteo. Would like to give a mention for Kai today. He battled and ran himself into the ground, but no doubt the haters won't have noticed. No, they won't. They don't care. RD's in here. He says, big up. Gallagher was dreadful. Back-to-back horrendous matches. We're going to get into it, people. Don't you worry. No, it wasn't garbage. It was a tactical change, but we'll get into it. Chelsea boy, very disappointed in you, fella. Very disappointed there. Now, let's be honest, Connor doesn't have the minerals. It's too early to call, but definitely in the 6th position at the minute. It's not looking too gravy, is it? It's not looking too gravy. Our designer in here, no TT on the touchline, red card, 28th minute. 3 out of 4 of the game were 10 men. 3/4 of the game were 10 men. The defending and resilience was superb. There were a couple heart in the mouth moments, but we held on. Up the fucking Chels, up the Minerals FC, back TT. Love that geezer. You busy? Heard someone was mudding you to get back on them, Johnny. Can't let the Minerals be mudded. Well, anyone that wants to try and mud me, then tag me, guys. Tag me. I'm here. Tag me. More than welcome. Let me know, people. Big up DJ Sir, big up Johnny and everyone in the chat. Great win after difficult circumstances. Playing with 10 men. Absolutely right. Big up to you, DJ Savin here. Chelsea till I die. Up the Chelsea. Let's have it right. Big up to you. William Mitchell, my member. Big up to you. You must be a new member, William. Big up to you. Thank you for joining the membership scheme. You must be a new member. Minerals were landing today. Absolutely right, my fella. Absolutely right. Where we go. He's in here. The one of the worst networks that I know of. 8-man Chelsea won today. Havertz and Mount were invisible today again. No, they weren't. Havertz was not invisible, and Mason Mount was not invisible. It was a tactical change, but obviously I can tell you're a little Havertz and Mount hater. Ironically, but welcome to the chat, my guy. Welcome to the chat. Big up, man, in here. Big up, Johnny. Got a good view of the Minerals, General Tommy T. I did. I'll let you guys. I'll show you guys. I'll run into that. Yes, Major General N'Golo Kante. We do miss the General. Johnny met Robbie today. I did. That was just class, mate. Absolutely class. Design Johnny, what's your thought on Eunice saying that Money Minerals Mount has been a disaster this season? Well, he wants to come at Minerals Mount. Listen, guys, I'll do a reaction to all this stuff, but today I want to focus on the game. I'm not interested in all these people. They can talk about me and talk about Mount all they want, but at the end of the day, I want to talk about Chels. That's what we're here for, people. Yeah, that is what we're here for. Ice cold beverage in here. Lovely to see you in here. Big up, Johnny. Big up, Roberto Matteo with the post-match Minerals. Yeah, that was a touch, wasn't it, people? That was an absolute touch. That was a proper touch. I've done a cheeky vid on him. I'll be real. I did do a cheeky vid, and he was like, "Oh, you done a vid?" I was like, "Yeah, come on. Do you know what I mean? You won me the Champions League. Come on, Gaffer. You won our first ever Champions League. You're an absolute legend." I was like buzzing to see him. Listen, let's get it up, people. Let's get it up. Let's land the Minerals. Let's just show it for what it is. Because that was a wonderful moment. That was just a wonderful moment. It really was. Right, here we go. Big up to everyone in here. Like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. Very important, guys. Right, so let's run through it. Let me get it up. Let's go. Let's rewind that there.
And with Robbie here, he's got the mineral.
We'll pause it there. We'll open it up full screen so you can all see people. Let's go.
And with Robbie here, he's got the minerals. Listen, he won that Champions League, didn't you, Robbie? I know.
Let's go. Love that. Robbie Di Matteo, mate. What a legend, bruv. What a legend. And also, I want to bring up this here. All right, this was at full time.
Gaffer's here.
So the Gaffer came out full time.
Yes, Gaffer. Gaffer's here. Where he belongs, mate. Gaffer's where he belongs. Have it right. That's where he belongs.
Look, then they're telling him to leave. You got to get off the pitch. Get off the pitch, Gaffer. It's ridiculous.
Let him get on the pitch, man.
Absolutely ridiculous, guys. You know what I mean? It was just shocking, mate. It was absolutely shocking. And then obviously this was me when I was walking. Credit to Alex. Big up Alex if he's watching. This is the Gaffer here sitting because obviously he's got a touchline band where I was fortunate to sit. And the Gaffer's there. We can all see the Gaffer there. Fully concentrated on the game. Do you know what I mean? Didn't want the selfies and all that. and I've done a cheeky one now, which I had to do. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously we've got the banner here, the Gaffer's banner. Come on.
My Gaffer. Let's back the Gaffer. He's not in the dugout today. His minerals will be there. Don't you worry
His
about
minerals
it.
were there.
Come on, Chels.
He landed the minerals, the Gaffer, today. He absolutely landed the minerals, people. So absolutely buzzing, yeah. Absolutely buzzing. This was just pure class, mate. So let me just run through quickly. Jack Henry in there, 3 points, and their best centre back. Let's have it right. Yeah, we got Fofana, people, as well. Blimey, how can I not forget that? Fofana's a done deal, guys. What a signing! What a signing! James was class today. Sterling brought minerals, although I wasn't very impressed with his overall performance, but he brought the minerals in terms of putting the ball in the net, and we cannot complain. Up the minerals, Chelsea Mark, as always. Big up Johnny the Gaffer, had a blinder today showing how elite he is. Let's hear what the haters have got to say after that. Exactly. I'm sure they'll find something, people. I'm sure they'll find something. Good ears in here. Big up to you, geezer. Great win today in team spirit. Christopher says, let's have it right, Johnny Land and Minerals. Ozen's in as soon as Mount came off, the team looked better. Let's have it right. No, it wasn't. It was that. I'll tell you why. You lot think that it was because Mount went off, but I'll tell you why. I'll run through it and I'll explain it. I'll explain it because people need to be told how it is. Big up my member Bobby in there. Johnny, Chelsea FC have to sort out that midfield with an alternative to Jorginho, or Chelsea will have problems this season. Well, I did mention this before, but sometimes if the players aren't available, then what are you supposed to do? You know, Frankie de Jong ain't coming to Chelsea, so who are we actually gonna go and buy in the market? Remains to be seen. Cream Machine music, yeah. Johnny, the agents are having chest pains, elbow cough. They say Leicester wasted chances, so I just say we, Chelsea, also missed chances, so relax and cry. Fair play. Nathan in here, Johnny, put them in the mud, minerals. Yeah, I'll mud anyone. You know me, guys. I'll mud anyone. Jamal says here, we've got Tommy Tuchel, 100% we do. Super Tommy T. Let's keep rolling. Guys, there's almost 200 people in here. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Gov's in here as well. Big up Johnny Minerals. Hope you're all good, geez. Great win. I'm buzzing, mate. I'm so happy with the result. This was a massive win for Chelsea today. A huge win with everything against us. Coming off the back of a 3-0 defeat against Leeds, the dirty Leeds. And let's have it right. Our gaffer wasn't in the dugout. So we have to really credit the team, the gaffer here, for pulling through against the Leicester side that, granted, are struggling. But they had some threatening moments, people. They had some threatening moments. This is just a wonderful result. It really is. This is exactly what we needed. It's exactly what we needed. Hello, Johnny. Just accept you are not good as Arsenal. They play great stuff. Listen, Arsenal are having a great little spell at the minute. Rory Jennings making a video on Arsenal instead of Chelsea, I've noticed. That's shocking, mate. What was I say? I mean, listen, Arsenal are going to lose games. They're going to have injuries. And they're going to have a bad patch. And when that happens, let's see where Arsenal are. Fofana, CFC, NJ says, yes, this is a great signing, guys. It's a great signing. I'll take, big up my boss, I'll take Dimitar back as an assistant to Tuchel. Listen, he's landing the minerals. Big up Philly in here. Big up Johnny. Loved your pictures of the match today, but had enough of hate on Mount and Kai. We'll get into that, guys. Don't worry. Jack's in here. Big up Jack. Havertz was rubbish first half, second half, but that chance where he was through and took every touch was criminal. Listen, we're going to get into it, guys. You've obviously got all your opinions. I'm running through it very quickly. Big up, you are my new member. Lovely to see you in here, William. I am Johnny. Love the show from Scotland. Big up to you in Scotland. Let me know where you are in Scotland, geezer. Let me know where you are. Big up to you. Thank you very much for supporting and being a member of Minerals FC. Love that. Let's quickly run through. All right. All these wankers saying Kai had a bad game. Sometimes it's about heart. And today he ran himself into the ground for Chels. 100% blood, sweat, and tears. Absolutely right. Think about all the hurdles chucked at TT, red cards, mistakes, injuries. He's doing his best. 100%. 100%. You see, let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Hold on. Before we get into it, let's have a quick swig of the minerals because obviously 3 points today. We've done Leicester. Brendan Rodgers is probably getting sacked in the morning. Let's have it right. And we've taken Fofana, you know. So that was lovely. Like and subscribe, people. Let's get into it. So, a great result. 3 points on the board. Coming off the back of 3-0 at Leeds. All right. We can go through individuals and that, but I'm gonna tell you how I saw it because I've missed a lot of things because when you're at the games, you don't get to see replays, and I haven't seen the highlights. So bear with me. But I will say this. All of you, and you all know who you are, you all called out for a back four. You wanted the Gaffer to play the back four. He played the back four in the first half, and you all saw how that panned out. A part of it is because he was forced to play a back four. He didn't have enough options. Wasn't going to play Dave. Couldn't play Koulibaly. Doesn't have Fofana. He's short on defenders. We played it. He played Mount, Havertz, and Sterling. And the reason he played those three is why? Because the other people that are so-called available on the bench, they're trying to leave the football club. So he's not playing them. So his hands are tied in the front line. All right? So you have to keep playing the same front line. And I want that because, in my opinion, they are the best front line out of what we got. Right? And then in the middle, what did he do? What did he do? He put Gallagher with Jorginho. We had Loftus-Cheek as well. So I think we have to understand something here. This team is not capable of playing a back four. We were too open and we got caught out. Gallagher tries too hard, and fair play to the kid. He wants to make it work at Chelsea, but he was trying too hard, and you can tell he's trying too hard, and he overdone it. But let's have it right. The referee was Anthony Taylor in disguise. That's the way I saw it. I also saw that the first yellow card for Conor Gallagher was not a yellow card. And I thought that was very harsh. And I don't think he gets sent off. Or maybe does get a second yellow in the second half because I think he would have made the first half. But when you get caught out of positions, when you're trying to cover up for Jorginho, it's difficult for a young kid that is not used to playing a six. But listen, he's been given the role of N'Golo Kante. He's been given the role of, say, Kovacic. They're not sixes. They're eights. So that is what Conor is. But unfortunately, he couldn't execute it properly and he got done. Cucurella, in moments, wasn't that great. I thought our passing was a little bit sloppy. But again, where was the feeding of Mason Mount? Where was the feeding to Kai Havertz? Where was it? Sterling lost the ball so many times. So many times he couldn't hold the ball, especially in the first half. It was awful. And then we got the second yellow, and we had a chance as well. We had a VAR ruling out penalty. Ruben played decent. But, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, the Gaffer's got no option. So he played these players. All the other players that people call for, they're not match fit. They're not ready. He put Trev in there, guys. He played Trev today in the back four with Thiago Silva, Reece James, Cucurella. It just didn't work. Trev got away with it today. There's quite a few occasions Trev got away with it. But listen, we got away with it. And I'm not coming at any of my players. I'm not going to criticise my players today. All right? I'm not coming at them. Do you know why? Because they showed minerals today. They showed mentality today. There's a lot going on off a back of losing. Normally, when teams lose, a 3-0 defeat, normally you go in drawing the game. Anyone would have said, I'll take a draw going 10 men down. All right. We played 28 minutes. We went 10 men down. Do you know why I was so impressed with our play? All right. Even though we didn't really create much, it was the fact that Chelsea kept hold of the ball. They held the possession of the ball. Do you know how important that was to do that? In the heat it was a hot day. You got 10 men. The gaffer's not in the dugout to give instructions to change or tweak the system. It's very difficult. You had to wait till half time. The players managed to keep it 0-0 at half time. And then you go into half time. The gaffer goes from where he was behind us, sitting down, straight into the dressing room, and he lands the minerals. And he went in there and he changed to a back three, wing back system. And he played Trev on the left side of the three centre backs. He brought Asby on for Mason Mount. And he had Kai Havertz as a natural striker he needed. And he had Sterling who had more pace. And we were counting on, the tactics for me was counting on sitting back, keeping possession and hitting Leicester. Because Leicester know that they're going to try and exploit that extra man that we've lost. And for me, that is what you pay. Well, that is where your gaffer earns his money. And he's right. Because today, that was class. Now, in my opinion, whether you leave Mason Mount or Raheem Sterling, or if you took Raheem Sterling off, you left Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, I still think we win the game. But the thing is, he looks at the fitness of the players, the fatigue of the players, and Mason Mount is obviously getting overplayed. And they, in my opinion, I would have personally put Mason Mount in the Ruben Loftus-Cheek position, but Loftus-Cheek gives you the heading ability in the defensive phases, and I could understand that to an extent. And the gaffer made the call, and I backed my gaffer. And as far as I'm concerned, all the Tuchel outers, you're all in the mud. Every single one of you, you're all in the mud. He played your so beloved back four that you've all been calling out, that 4-3-3, and it didn't work because the midfield's not good enough. All right, and the defence gets exposed. We went 10 man down. We kept it clean sheet. He goes in half time. He lands the minerals. He goes in there and he says, this is what we're doing. We're going back three, wing back system, and we're going to have a go and we're going to try and win the game. And I tell you what, the goal by Raheem Sterling was just class, pure minerals. A wonderful goal by Raheem Sterling. And that was it. That was the moment, guys, where you think, we're going to kick on here. We're going to win this game. We've got every opportunity to win this game. That was so important. And that is credit to the gaffer. The gaffer implemented the mindset, the belief, the instructions, the reshuffling tactically with 10 men. And to go and score that early, that is the minerals to the gaffer. And to all the players out there, they showed the mentality not to put their heads down and to fight. And do you know how hard it is to play 10 men? And Leicester, you know, they're in not a very good situation at the minute, but they still had threat. Mendy was class, mate. Mendy made how many saves today? Was solid. Booted it out when he wanted to boot it out. Fine, we don't care. No mistakes. And everyone was asking to drop Mendy to put Kepa. No, mate, the gaffer knows. And I called it. I said, you play Mendy. Mendy has to play. He has to make amends of his mistakes. And you build his confidence. And what the gaffer's done, he's injected the faith and belief that Mendy knows that the gaffer trusts him. And that is so important. Again, another tick for the gaffer. Another tick. He brought on Pulisic and Kovacic, and you know, Pulisic didn't really do much. I thought defensively he didn't do as much as Sterling, and I think Sterling was better off the ball than Pulisic all day long. But you need to rest him. Kai Havertz played the whole 90, and credit to him, the silky German. And then obviously Kovacic got a run under his belt, and he played some nice little balls, some over the top. But you know, he got some minutes under his belt, and he just kept it composed in the middle and rested Georgie because Georgie was knackered. You know, there's moments Georgie was playing it in triangles at the back, under pressure with 10 men, and we kept possession. And I see all these things. So respect to every single player, including my Minerals Mount. Every single player. There was moments when you talk about Mason Mount where he was in great positions. No one played it to him. And when they did want to play it to him, it got intercepted because it was poor execution of a ball to go to Mason Mount. And then what happens? You lose the ball and Leicester go and hit you. And I saw Mason Mount go like that, frustrated. And then he knew and he had to pelt it back to try and help out and recover the ball. And there was moments that he recovered the ball. How many times? It's not about that he was poor, because he wasn't poor. It's just that the balance in the team ain't right. And it does affect players. But listen, you have to build around Mason Mount. Mason Mount, you have to build around him. If you build around him in the 8-10 position, he's going to land the minerals all day long. He's been our best forward for the last 2.5 years playing out of position. So when you have issues in the team and inconsistencies and players that are not at that level, then you're going to suffer. And he did suffer for that. He did suffer. But listen, at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and that is the most important thing. All right? It was absolutely fundamental. And then we got the second goal. Cucurella got an assist, played decent second half. We just tried. Listen, it was clear to me, all right, and all the haters can say, yeah, we played better with Mason Mount. It wasn't the fact that Mason Mount was on the pitch, because you could have him on the pitch. It was the fact that the Gaffer played the back three with a wing-back system. That is why we played better in the second half. And we were playing like we had 11 men. We played like we had 11 men because of that system, because they're comfortable with the system. And the system suits all the players, suits Jorginho, Thiago Silva. And he played Trev on the left side, and he's a right-footed player. It tells you everything you need to know. But also Trev had a mistake there, and Vardy came in and luckily missed. That could have been a 2-2. There was the crossbar incident. Could have been 2-2. Very easily could have been a 2-2, guys. And we pulled it out the bag. This is what I'm talking about. Off a loss. When everyone's coming at the Gaffer. Everyone's coming at all our players. They're coming at Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. Everyone's having a dig at Gallagher. And we still, even Gallagher cost us there. He cost us there. But at the end of the day, we pulled through as a team. And that is all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You know, you want me to talk about, Lewis wants me to talk about Kai and Mason Mount. I've already spoken about Mason Mount. The fact that he came off isn't because of how poor he was. It was a tactical change because we were playing a back four in the first half. Second half, he switched to back three wing back system because all you Muppets want to play a back 4-3-3. Yeah, you want to play 4-3-3. Our players can't do it. Maybe if you get a Fofana with a Koulibaly, you can do it. But that remains to be seen. And he changed to the three at the back, wing back system, and he sacrificed Mason Mount. He needed Kai Havertz as a striker, and he wanted pace with Raheem Sterling. That's what he did. And it worked because we won the game. That's why we won the game. Because the Gaffer changed it. So, all the ones that were blaming Tuchel last week, where are you? Yeah? Hush your beaks. Because this Gaffer knows exactly what we're doing. It's not his fault that the board haven't gone out and spent the money. They need to go and spend money. They need to go and bring in players that he wants. And it looks like we're not going to get Declan Rice. We're definitely not getting Frankie de Jong. I don't even think we're getting Aubameyang. So, who are we going to buy? Get Gordon in. I like Gordon. I think he'll fit into the system. Fantastic. But, you want to talk about Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz today, he fucking landed the minerals. He was everywhere on that pitch. His work rate was phenomenal. With 10 men on the pitch. 10 men on the pitch. And don't tell me that he lost the ball and this and that. Sterling, how many times did Sterling lose the fucking ball? How many times? Every time he lost the ball. Even in the second half, there was moments. Everyone's going to lose the ball because you ain't got that support from the midfield because you've got 10 men. For me, Kai Havertz, he did his job and he played for the team. It's called a team game. It's called about fighting mentality. It's called about minerals, yeah? It's called about working hard. The amount of defensive work rate that Kai Havertz landed when they had corners and he was heading it out, doing what a Diego Costa or a Drogba would do for our football team back in the day. That is what he was doing. That's what he was doing. You're not going to get the chance creation you want with 10 men. It's just not going to happen. And when we did have the moments, we took them. And that's credit to Raheem Sterling. Aside from the goals, he was okay. He didn't have a fantastic game. But I'm not coming at him for that. He scored a wonderful goal and he got the second goal, sort of trademark Sterling goal. And that is what I expect. Sometimes, right, you have to respect and maybe use the eye test to understand the defensive work rate of your frontliners is priceless. In a moment like this where you're 10 men for basically the majority of the game, with all the issues we got, I backed Kai Havertz all day long and I thought he put a fantastic performance and shift in today and I couldn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I don't give a toss. Yeah. Johnny Vitamins, hush your beat and get out of here then. Jog on. You should jog on, mate. Unsubscribe, mate. Like you said, unsubscribe. I'm all for it. Don't come in here and talk bollocks. Yeah. Big up Fatter in here. Guys, like and subscribe, man. I've got almost 250 people in here. Like and subscribe, people. Yeah? Like and subscribe. So, at the end of the day, all the players, all right, I thought Thiago Silva was exceptional. I thought he was outstanding today. Some of the tackles he made in really dangerous areas where we were getting hit, he landed it. Wonderful tackles and the reading the game, the way he keeps possession under pressure, and he heads the ball in such tight spaces was fantastic. But we are far from Starbucks, people. We are far from form. We are far from playing well. What we did today was dug it out. And we dug it out without our gaffer being there. So, all those that are coming at Thomas Tuchel, I think you need to outright apologise to him. Outright apologise to the gaffer. Because what he did today was what I expect of Tuchel. He's a tactical genius. And he outclassed Leicester. Leicester had 11 players on the pitch. They couldn't. What did they do? They had their moments because we were knackered, guys. But we kept the ball. In the first half, we kept the ball after the red card. The second half, after we scored the goals, we looked like we were tired. We wanted to sit back, and they got their goal. And people can come at Mendy all you want about Mendy. You know, maybe should have saved that goal and this and that. But at the end of the day, Mendy got himself back up and he made some great saves. And he made right decisions. So there was no mistakes. And credit to Mendy for that. Credit to Reece James. I thought he was fantastic. Reece James played class, composure, tried to link it up, got into good positions. But again, you know, when you see Reece in space, you see Mount in space. On the left side, you see Sterling or Cucurella in space. From the central defenders or from the pivot, there wasn't the vision to play those balls out to them when they're in space, when we had the 10 men. And we could have actually hurt them a little bit. But Loftus-Cheek, another one, a bit shaky in certain moments. Poor decision-making when he got into great positions. But I don't give a toss. Me, personally, move past this, on to the next game at Southampton away. And it's a 3 points, a massive 3 points. And I'm proud of every single player that contributed. I was glad Chile came on and got some minutes. Pulisic came on, didn't do anything for me. Kovacic, I'm glad he's back. And you could see his effect straight away. And Jorginho's going to get burnt out if this continues. So we have to see how the gaffer manages this. But we need Kovacic back in the side because we need that quality. He's clear of Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Gallagher in the double six. We know that. And I think when you have Kovacic in your team, it changes the whole dynamics. It changes the whole dynamics and the way you can link the midfield to attack and the progression and the pace of the game. And he can get out of difficult situations. And we've missed that a lot. Loftus-Cheek tried to do that, and he did sometimes, but he's nowhere near Kovacic level. Nowhere near it. Credits Cucurella, tough game. It was a tough game all round. But the way the Gaffer changed it at half time, that for me is that was what won the game. That's what won the game. That change. Forget back four. I don't want to ever see a back four. I do not want to see a back four until when I see the back fours. Once we made the signings, if we do play a back four, then I know that the Gaffer is comfortable and he knows we can play a back four. But other than that, we ain't playing a back four, and I wouldn't touch it ever again with a barge pole. You keep it the back three wing back system. Now Fofana's coming in. Now you're gonna have Koulibaly come back in. You got Thiago Silva there. Is Trev gonna stay? I don't know. Is the Gaffer convinced with Gallagher right now? Is he convinced with Chalobah right now? I don't think he is. And Gallagher really hurt us today. But like I say, don't come at the kid. You know, he's trying his hardest. And that's all you can ask of these players. You got to respect that they try and they care. And there's a lot of issues going on behind the scenes. That I can tell you. All right. And I don't think that the Gaffer's getting fully back right now the way he wants to be backed. And this is affecting us in the transfer market. Bowley needs to go out there with Egbali, Weiss, and Clear Lake Capital and go and spend the dosh. We've been told by the brown envelopes we got 400 million to spend. Well, let's go and spend it. We spent 200 at the minute, roughly, or a little bit more with Fofana. Where's the signings? Where are they? Because there's going to be more players leaving. When's Alonso going to leave? He's not even playing. Cho's not playing. He's going to leave. Hakim Ziyech, he's going to leave. You know, we've got to replace these players. If Chalobah leaves, we've got to replace these players. I understand why the Gaffer wants 3 central defenders. Now you got to remember, he's only got one. He's got Koulibaly. All this time in the transfer window, and we've only got one. That's poor. That's poor from the board. Very poor. Now we're going to be forced in paying out the money. We paid 70 million for Fofana. It's not good enough. I'm not impressed. You can say, yeah, we're going to give him time. I'm going to give him time. Obviously, they're going to get the time. But the Gaffer needs these players. The squad is thin as it is. It's thin as it is. We're weaker than last season. So when you haven't got other players at your disposal, it's going to hurt you guys in the long run throughout the season. Fatigue, injuries, situation, suspensions, all these factors. Playing Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. We need extra players, guys. We need extra players. And right now, we've only made Koulibaly, Cucurella, Fofana's coming in, Sterling's coming in, and then youngsters. And that's it. So that's all I'm going to say. 1 second, people. So we need to see action in the market. If we don't get the action in the market, I am going to be more concerned. And more concerned with the Gaffer. The Gaffer's not a miracle worker. You've got to help the Gaffer. You need to replace these players. You need to bring them in. It's very important you bring them in. If you don't bring them in and you're letting go of players, you're not going to be able to let go of those players. Like at the minute, we can't let go of Callum Hudson-Odoi. We can't let go of, what's his name? Pulisic, Ziyech. Because we need players coming in those positions. We need to come. We can't let them go and then not bring someone in because then we're really shooting ourselves in the foot. So this is my concern, guys. What's in the pipeline? Because I do not believe what the brown envelopes tell us. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe it. Let me just run through all this. Just keep running through. Bear with me, guys. Like and subscribe, guys. Let me know what like someone as well. Let's have it right. But obviously, there's some trolls in here that don't know ball. But I expect that anyway. It comes part and parcel with the platform, doesn't it? But big up to you, geezer. Right. Yeah, it's true, man. Get the likes up, you muppets. Get it up, guys. I've got 230 odd people in here. Get the likes up, people. DJ Sav says, Johnny Chalobah's to stay for me. I thought he had a good game. Vardy got past him towards the end. But I put this down to tiredness. Plays the majority of matches with 10. I also put it down to the fact that Trev Chalobah's not had a run-in into the season. So we have to bear that in mind. That's why I think he was rusty. He was shaky. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know, guys, what's going to happen, people. I really don't know what's going to happen, people. I mean, I think... I think personally that Chalobah will probably leave. But we have to consider he's playing left-sided centre-back in a back three, which when he's a right-footed, he's more comfortable on the right. But you don't want Dave on the left. You put Dave more comfortable on the right because of his age. And you got that protection from Reece James. Cucurella, he did all right, Cucurella, actually, with Trev. But right now, it's going to be a tough season, and we're in a rebuild. I want to remind everyone we are in a rebuild, and that is the issue. We're in a rebuild, and the board have got to get their finger out their arses. We need more centre backs. We need a midfielder. We need attackers because certain players are leaving. And what have we got, guys? What's the date today? 27th. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days till deadline day. 4 days. And we've only just got Fofana. It's just shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. You know, this is where the panic stations are going to come in now. Panic stations are going to happen now. And this is where we're either going to have to pay over the odds for all these players because thank you to the brown envelopes, you've let everyone know we've got all this money to spend, so we're having to pay over the odds for all these players. That's what I'm saying, people. This is a joke. Big up British Patriot. I'm late. Big up Mills FC. Like, subscribe, people. Get Johnny on the algorithm. Yeah, listen, I'm on the road to 4K. On the road to 4K. It's massive. 8 weeks now. 8 weeks, people. So I'm very happy with this. Yeah. So get me up, people. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the reception, guys. I've had issues with my my provider, but thank fuck it's not EE. Yeah. As long as it's not EE. Yeah. Like and subscribe, people. Bear with me. So what are we saying, guys? We go to Southampton. Transfer window will be Wednesday, deadline day. That's when it's going to be. So hopefully we've got signings over the line. I don't buy Aubameyang. I don't think Aubameyang's going to come. I don't know why. I just don't think it's going to come. I don't think he wants to come. I don't even think he's what we need personally. He's problematic, and is his heart wanting to come back to Chelsea, coming to the Premier League, and come to Chelsea? Is his heart in it? Or is he quite happy being in Spain? I don't know. Ken Scott says, let's have it right. Sell these kind of batsman, Barkley, Alonso, etc., and get some cash. Give Billy a chance. I don't know what's happening with Billy. I really don't know what's happening with Billy Gilmore. Maybe this so-called De Jong deal, because it's not going to happen. Does Billy Gilmore stay? And I think he should, but the Gaffer might not have a choice but to keep him. If you want Gordon, and Super Frank is saying, oh, he's worth 100 million, which is nonsense. Obviously, we all know that. But he's elite at talent ID, Frank Lampard, as we know with our youth. So he's brought through all the ballers we've got at our football club. And I trust his judgment on Gordon. The Gaffer wants Gordon, and that's all I need to know. So I'm ready to bring in Gordon. I think it'd be a great addition to our team. I think it'd be a great addition. Wi-Fi can't handle the middles overload. Yeah. This window is all about stopgaps. We need a DM and a left-sided centre-back. Don't need a striker right now. We need to win to attract a real striker to lead the line defence. I just don't want to go out in the market and buy. I don't want to buy players just to fill in stopgaps, because we end up having to offload them in a season or two. I just want to buy the top targets. I don't want to do this nonsense. And I think right now, the key one is Declan Rice. It's not going to happen. Even if you pay 150 million, I still think West Ham will tell you to do one. That's going to have to wait till next year. And that's the one that's going to hurt us the most, I think. We need him. We need him. Do you know what I mean? Big up, we appreciate your Super Meals donation. Thank you very much. Big up to you. Leo ain't happening, JP. Leo ain't happening. I don't believe it. If it does, fantastic. I think he's a lovely player, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No chance. You ain't going to pay that much money. What is it? 100 plus million? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the board are going to do. Gabriel says, come on, Johnny. Clear Uber is coming. Understand we've been raped by brown envelopes, but he will plug the gap for a year or two. It's all about timing. We need someone like Uber on paper. Listen, if he does come, fine. But I just think anything involved with Barcelona, I don't trust it. And if you've heard the rumours that Frankie de Jong's going to take a pay cut. So what are we supposed to believe here? We've been told that we've arranged personal terms with Aubameyang and all this stuff. He was flying out. He flew to Paris, weren't coming to London. There's no medical. There's apparently we're putting down good money for him. Then they only want money and they don't want Alonso in the deal, although they want Alonso separate. That doesn't make sense to me. I think Luca's right, and Cuckoo is the player that Tuchel wants, and we're going to sign him for whatever 60 odd million buyout clause next year. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Right, let me get some people on. I want to get some people on. Let me get some people on, people. Like and subscribe, guys, while I'm doing this. Like and subscribe. Support the channel, people. Very important. And big up to every single one of you that's in here. Big up to every single one of you that's in here. All right, let's go. Let's put thingy on. We'll put here's thingy. Is it still a bad connection, people? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. That's that one. Get Julius on. And put some questions in the comments, guys. Put some questions in the comments and I'll gladly answer. All right, let's do that for now. Do that for now. All right, so the connection's better now, yeah? Connection's better. Listen, they've all got to be in their bonnet. No, listen, I've been told a lot of stuff, yeah, behind the scenes, yeah. Oh, mate. Honestly, listen, there is only one channel like Minerals FC. And I am all for it, people. You're part of the channel. And in numbers, we're strong. Yeah? In numbers, we're strong. Right, Johnny, you reckon Todd Bailey will spend big consistently, or you think this window will be it for spending big? That remains to be seen. I do think over the next 2 summer windows, I think he's going to have to spend big because there's a major rebuild needed. We've got players from 5 previous managers in this squad, and a lot that don't want to be here, a lot that are not at the right level. So we have to. He's got no choice, and if he doesn't, then we're not in a good state, are we? I don't know. I'm not really impressed at the minute. I'm not really impressed with the business so far. It's not enough. And time's running out. Time is running out. We need that slap the money down. Listen, if it was me personally and I want to make a statement, I'll go to West Ham. I'll just pay the money. Or if you really want Frankie de Jong, go and pay the money. If you really want a Neymar, go and offer him the blockbuster contract. Go and pay the money. If you really want Mason Mount and Reece James to sign 7-year deal, make sure it's the right money. Don't take the piss. You've brought in players on 300 grand a week. You pay them the wages. My thing is, right, Bowley has no choice. He's just taken ownership. He has to go and do it. He has to go and spend big. There's no excuse now. You can see it's clear as day. The problem for me is, guys, they're not footballing people. They don't know about football. They don't understand football. They're from baseball. This has always been my concern. And it's proving to show right now. And I think there needs to be pressure. There needs to be pressure on Bowley right now. And I think Tuchel is going to get wound up if he doesn't get enough players through the door. We've had a whole transfer window, guys. And we've only actually signed 3 top players. The rest are for the future. And we're looking to get the 4th one in for Fana. But it's not enough. We need a minimum 7 players. We need at least 2-3 more players, minimum, right now. If you're letting go of all these players, you've got to. And this is my concern with Bowley. I don't know where they're at. Are they going to get a stopgap DM? I don't know. Who's that DM going to be? Have we got time? Are they available? What price is it? Do they want to come? There's so many factors involved. It's difficult. It's difficult on Bowley. But at the end of the day, money talks, people. Look at Man United. They went and just blown out 70 million on high wages for Casemiro. They're going to go and blow 100 million on Anthony. Chelsea need to do something like that. Why are we not seeing that, guys? Why are we not seeing that? Why are you not going out and getting a Neymar when things are not right? Why are you looking at Deadwood fucking Aubameyangs? Why are you looking at Deadwood and helping another team that are building a good team, a good squad? I don't understand it. This is what I don't get. And they need to answer this. They need to go out in the mix. And let's have it right. That toothpick fella, what's his name? Well, I always say he thinks the grass is green on the other side. If that makes sense to people, yeah? If you get what I'm saying, all right? Put out an article, yeah? With Danny the Fink in there. And Danny the Fink says, I look at everything that Sign Dan put out. Big up to Sign Dan, yeah? But that fella's got the biggest Tuchel agenda going, trying to mock the Gaffer in that he thinks that the Gaffer don't know what we need. Of course he knows what we need. Today he proved he knows what we need because he knows what he's doing behind the scenes. He's playing every role, the Gaffer. But my thing is, all right, Danny the Fink, if you ever watch, you ain't going to watch this, probably not, obviously not. But at the end of the day, I think you need to really back the Gaffer here. You need to get Bowley to really back the Gaffer. Because if you do not fix and bring in the right quality, we're going to be even further behind Liverpool, Manchester City. We will be further behind. And you need to spend that money at all costs right now. And when I mean spend the money, if you go and buy a Neymar, you go and buy Frankie de Jong, you are buying elite talent. You're not buying it on just some good, next best thing. You are buying elite talent. Players that come in and instantly change our whole dynamics, elevate us, bring us to a new level. And let's have it right. I'm not seeing that at the minute. Gordon is a great little player and I'd love to have him. And the Gaffer wants him. If it's true, we'll get him. But I'm saying go out for these big players. If you want to look at Anthony, 100 million, go and spend 100 million on Leo then. If you think he's that guy. If the Gaffer thinks he's the player to go and spend 100 million, go and spend it. But you cannot tell me that the Gaffer would turn down Neymar, Frankie de Jong and all these players. I think it's a case that these players don't want to come to Chelsea. I think it's a case that Bowley might not want to spend that money. But if it's about egos, then Aubameyang's an ego and he's a problematic player. Why are we looking to buy him? Just because Tuchel's managed him before. So for me, I don't know, guys. Listen, I need to see the minerals from Bowley. And all this no director of football nonsense, we all know this. There's no time for that. That's not going to happen right now. And all these brown envelopes talking shit. All these brown envelopes and all these little wannabe brown envelopes pushing pressure on Tuchel. Yeah, you look at yourselves in the mirror and you think about all that what you're typing on that keyboard. You think about what comes out of your mouth. Because this Gaffer today, he landed it. And he gave what everyone wanted a back four. Reluctantly, he gave it. And it wasn't the right thing to do. So I think everyone that seems to think that they know more than the Gaffer and they know what formation we should play and what players we should select, I think the Gaffer winning today under all the circumstances, I think that hushes all the Tuchel doubters and all the criticisers of Tuchel. Yeah, all those criticising Tuchel, you're all in the mud. And I love it. My Gaffer, 100% lands it every time. Big up to William Mitchell. Another donation. Lovely. Thank you. Appreciate that, geezer. My new member as well. What do you want to say, William? Say something, my guy. Say something. Whatever you want to say, geezer, and I'll put it up here. Big up to William in here, my new member. Appreciate your Super Minerals donation. Yeah. Big up El Padrino in here. Big up Johnny, up the Mills FC. Both our mobs picked up the 3 points. Fuck the brown envelopes. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. Absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, we really dug out this game. We showed real mental strength here. Where there was no mental strength against Leeds, we landed it. We landed it today. And it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Again, credit to the Gaffer, mate. Absolute credit to the Gaffer. My baller. The Minerals, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, guys, I'm telling him to land the Minerals because we're short. We need another centre-back. We need a right-sided, versatile, either midfielder, wing-back, attacker for Reece James. We need to replace 4 attackers. 4 attackers, and we've already got Sterling through the door. That is a lot of work to do. There is players in this team that don't want to be in this football side. They don't want to be at the club. They want to leave. So, granted, he's done fantastic, but he needs to do more right now. He needs to do more. And sometimes you've got to pay the money. And that's what I think. I generally think that. I think that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a rebuild. But if you're letting go of 7 to 8 players, more than that, who's gone? Let's work it out. Ziyech is going to go. Ziyech is going. Lukaku's gone. Werner's gone. Cho's going to go. That's 4. I'll leave Pulisic out for a second because I don't know if he's going to leave. Yeah. Then you got Barkley, Bakayoko. Trev might leave. You've lost Rudiger, Christensen. All right. That is 9 players. 9 players. All going. You have brought in Sterling, Cucurella, Fofana now, Koulibaly. That's only 4. So you have to bring one in, one out. That's got to be it. If we don't do that, if we do not do that, then we are cutting ourselves short again. Or we're going to have to rely on youth again. And then it's going to be the same old thing. It's going to be the same old thing. Big up, Jem.
Let's have it right.
Let's have it right, geezer.
What's happening, son? How we been? Long time no speak.
Yeah, mate. I'm all good, mate. Listen, my Wi-Fi's doing a madness, I think. So let me know if it's all right.
Yeah, you're all right at the moment. I can see you. You're all good.
All right, sweet.
You're all good, mate. Listen, mate. Reece James has got the minerals. That's all I'm going to say, mate. You know what? Like, Reece James was awesome today, mate. He was awesome. Yeah, none of this Trent Alexander-Arnold, none of this fucking bullshit, mate. Let's just be serious. He is the best right back in the Premier League by far. I mean, he sets the example. He leads. His assist today was on the money. He drops crosses like that all the time. Do you know what I mean? We just don't have the players to fucking finish him in the last season or 2. He was quality today, along with the El Monstro himself, Thiago Silva, who was just. I worry the day that this guy goes. You know that the day that this guy retires and leaves Chelsea, I worry. I genuinely worry with our defence. I know Koulibaly's there and Fofana's there, but
he was immense today.
He's immense all the time, though. When is he not immense? When is he not good? Let's be serious. When is he not consistently like one of our best players all the time? He's just 38 years old. This guy's 38 years old, you know. What worries me still is the forward line. You know, Mason Mount. He didn't get injured today, did he? He just got taken off, didn't he?
Tactical, yeah.
Yeah, tactical. You know, he takes Mason Mount off, and not to say that
Because
we played better.
he has to play the two. He needed a striker such with Kai, someone who's got the ability to try and hold it up, press and all that. And he wanted Sterling for that extra pace.
Well, if you look to what Sterling done in that game in the second half, he sort of played as a midfielder / forward. He done a bit of both. Like he dropped in, and then when he got the ball, he sort of went forward. He's so versatile, Sterling. You know that he gives us so much, like in the way that he plays the game. And you know, I'm glad he got his 2 goals today. You know, because that is what we bought him here for.
I'm glad he's off the mark. Yeah, man. It's big. The first goal was class, mate. That was minerals.
I'm a little like, you know how much of a big fan I am of Havertz, like you are as well, and I know he's getting a lot of shit at the moment from our fan base about him, about the way he's performing and whatever else. But I'm telling you now, like today, his performance. So I thought the second half he worked his socks off. I know you was at the game, yeah, but he looked like he linked the play well. He was winning headers. He was doing everything that he should be doing.
Defending, he was headering out from corners and everything. He was all over the place.
He was. But you know, the only thing with Kai Havertz is, and I get it, is that you need to start seeing, you know, goals. You know, we need to see goals. We need to see assists. We need him to be more involved at the other end. I get that, but you know, you've only got to look at the midfield, and let's be serious. Jorginho was getting outrun today. It was making me feel sick in the second half. It was making me feel sick. It got to a point where I was just crying for it to just end.
That's what I felt for Connor a little bit, because Connor was really trying hard to try and press. He recovered the ball. He made some great recoveries early on in the game. But because he was trying too hard and he tried to go in too hard, he got caught out. The first yellow was bullshit. That was never a yellow card for me. And I don't think he gets sent off. But I think the second one, that's a blatant yellow card. But Georgie does not help, mate. He just doesn't.
He's so limited in his game.
Do you know what it is, Jem? Yeah? If Jorginho doesn't have Kovacic or Kante next to him, it's like he just gets exposed.
When they're out and we rely on him to step up and do a job in midfield, he can only do so much. Like, he's so limited in his ability to be able to play the role. It's ridiculous. Like, we don't get anything going forward with him, which means it hinders the forward line because we don't release the ball quick enough through him through the middle. He hasn't got the pace to recover when he gets beaten. He got beaten a number of times today. Literally walked past. Yeah, and he couldn't even get back into position. Like, it got to the point where, you know, the boss, even though he weren't even on the bench, put Ruben Loftus-Cheek in that role when he brought Kovacic on. He put Kovacic and Ruben in the middle and took Jorginho off because it's just, you know, from looking down, I'm hoping that he can see from what he saw today with Jorginho. You know, like, we need a midfielder. Like, we haven't got enough sixes. We've got too many eights and not enough sixes, and that is a problem for me going forward with the season, Johnny. It's not good, mate. It is not good.
I think, listen, at the end of the day, our squad is thinner right now. Okay. We know we're going to expect Kante and Kovacic to be injured throughout the season. We know that. The Gaffer knows that. And I think he's trialled Connor now. You can say he trialled him in pre-season and all that. That's pre-season. And you're trying to get minutes under your belt. But he's trialled him in 2 big Premier League games. And unfortunate for him, I think he just tries too hard at the minute.
That is it. That is the word. That is the word.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And he needs to just be a bit more carefree. But
the thing is, our fan base is so ruthless as well. You know how ruthless our fan base is. 1 or 2 games and you don't perform, and you're not good enough for Chelsea. You need to fuck off, sort of thing. Like, I get that. The thing that people need to remember is he come from a Palace team where he was playing as an 8. That was naturally where he was playing. He was more forward up the pitch. You know, what we're asking him to do at Chelsea is be more of a sitter and link the play and you know, work with Jorginho and have some like link up plays with him, whatever. Like, these are things that I don't think a player of his age, or only being at least in the Premier League for 1 year, which he's only been in the Premier League for 1 year, is ready to do. You know, playing for Chelsea, coming from Palace and playing for Chelsea, it's 2 different ball games, bruv. Especially with the manager that we've got. You know, the manager that we've got requires so much more from him that we've kind of thrown him in the deep end. And look, this disciplinary, like, he shouldn't have that second yellow. He should know not to do that. Even at Palace, you know, if you know, he shouldn't be doing that. Do you know what I mean? He didn't need to do that. We had enough cover behind. He didn't have to put us in that position at the end of the day. But you know, him being out of the team doesn't really help. I know Kovacic is back,
Yeah, that was a big help with Cover coming back. But for me, this is the thing, right? What pisses me off with people is like, oh yeah, we don't want the passion and the fucking work rate and this and that. We don't care about that. And I tell you what, without that in a Tuchel system, you're a long way from Starbucks. You ain't going to do nothing in a Tuchel system if you ain't willing to work hard, be press resistant, get the high ball recoveries, work your socks off, play as a team. That's what we did today. With 10 men, we done it. People want to come at Kai Havertz, all right? But we played with 10 men, and this kid was everywhere. And he was a menace to them just for his work rate. And you can't blame him on anything, because at the end of the day, what chances were created, really, apart from that one on through opportunity where he had a bad touch? But the kid's knackered, man. He's been playing with 10 men for the majority of the game in this heat. I don't think you realise.
I hate it when they bring in the cement boot when it comes to Havertz, and I've seen it so many times.
Who's bringing in Lukaku? Who's bringing Lukaku?
Basically, we were saying that Havertz is hindered by Lukaku, but Havertz hasn't changed. In fact, he's worse. Is what people think at the moment.
Yeah, was Lukaku? All you Lukaku stands. Was Lukaku going to do any of those kilometres that Havertz did with 10 men? Was he going to do that?
No, it wasn't. We know that. We know that. Look at Haaland.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, the people that got an agenda on Kai. Yeah, all right. I'll tell you one thing. This kid is going to mud you, and I'll say it again. He's going to mud you. You get the right balance of players around him. You get the right balance of players around him. This kid is going to be world class.
Hey, the viewers.
And do you know what? You're going to all be going, oh, Havertz, what my baller, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be going, you're all wishy-washy, every single one of you. You want to come at, listen, anyone who comes at any of the players today, right, sort it out. Sort it out. You're 10 men down. You've won the game. We should never have won that game, by the way. Never have won that game.
Yeah.
All right. Mendy put in a shift. Thiago Silva was class. Reece James was class. Jorginho wasn't very good. Ruben Loftus-Cheek wasn't very good. All right. Cucurella, okay. I got the assist, but was struggling a little bit. Dave came on. Chalobah was struggling. No match fitness. Was playing on the left in the back three. You got Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, and Sterling hardly getting the ball in the first half, even when you had Gallagher and Jorginho on the pitch. It's the same old thing with that midfield and the wing backs not going up enough and this and that. But you go 10 man down after 28 minutes, and this team goes out and goes 2-0 up. Because the Gaffer changes from a back four, because they all want a back four, these Muppets. They got the back four, and they switched it to a back three at half time because the Gaffer knows what we need. Yeah, and we go and clear out, score 2 goals, and we dominated them really with that 2-goal.
We just made it harder for ourselves, didn't we? Really, because I do feel even with 11 men, we were going to score. We were dominating that game. Do you know what I mean? Especially in the first 20 minutes or so. I just felt that going down to 10 men just made it harder. In theory, it didn't, because it just gave us more. I don't know what it was, but we just looked better going forward with 10. Especially
the thing is, right, where people don't understand is Sterling doesn't get into those positions without Kai's work rate and positional work. And the same with Mason Mount. This is why what you got to understand is how they operate. Everything that Kai Havertz does will benefit Sterling. Everything he did in that second half especially benefited Sterling to get in those positions to score those goals. Because what he does is he occupies their defenders. He gets into pockets. He's a very intelligent player. And then when we lose the ball, this kid was chasing down from the left centre-back to the goalkeeper to the right centre-back, pushing up with Sterling. And that is what you need.
Yeah, but none of them, a lot of Chelsea fans don't care about that. They want to see output. They want to see goals and assists, and I get that. But what they don't, and you said it earlier, in a Tuchel system, if you don't have movement and you don't work hard, and you don't do your part for the team, it doesn't work. And that's why Lukaku didn't work for us, because he isn't that type of player. We don't benefit from him. Havertz, all right, he's been, the last 2 games, he's been quiet. He hasn't been at his best, but you can say that for most of the players that have played. I thought he wasn't too bad. For Spurs, I thought he was actually all right. Some people thought he weren't that good. I thought he was quite decent. His movement was good. This to today's game, second half especially, he was much better. He got stuck in. Yes, he's not scoring. He's in the right of form. I get it, but we're missing so much behind him in terms of creativity, and I'm talking about from a forward line and from midfield. We've got no creative players in midfield,
It's the
and we've got no
midfield
creative players in.
is a bit of a sticky
Yeah, but we
one,
haven't even
mate.
got it in forwards, mate. We ain't got someone that can pick the ball up and just play the ball. He makes so. I shared a stat on Kai Havertz. I think it was in the last. I can't remember how many games it was, but basically he was top of the chart for. I think it was for this season so far. He was top of the chart for movement off the ball, running into space. Running in behind into spaces. Like he made more runs than any other striker in the league with his movement, which he just isn't getting found. Do you know what I mean? And like he always does it in the tight areas, which is the most important bits, because when we pick the ball up from the final third and we try and play him in behind, he always makes them little. He doesn't make them massive like long runs from like the halfway line. These runs are like very targeted in terms of that he runs directly into the space behind, and if you don't find him with that pass directly, he becomes ineffective because you ask him to come deep and try and link play and whatever else, and which is fine. But
it's the same. Listen, when we have Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante, especially Kovacic and Jorginho, you know what they do? They progress the ball and they pass it quick enough to the wing backs or to a Mason Mount who drops in. I haven't seen any of that in his first 4 games, apart from the Spurs game.
I do feel we need something else. I did say for a long time that Sterling's not enough. I keep saying it. I do think we do need more in the forward line. And
We've lost too much, Jem.
Would have Jesus been a very good player for Chelsea? I think in the way that he plays the game, you look at what he's doing at Arsenal. Jesus, I think when you look at what Jesus is doing at Arsenal and his style of play, I think that maybe a Sterling and a Havertz Mount maybe would have benefited from that type of that sort of type of player, But
another 4-5 foot striker with no aerial presence, but he's all about movement. We've got in Kai Havertz, we've got in Mount Sterling.
It's not just that. He's versatile. He's direct. He can.
So's all our forwards, geezer.
He will
all the
take
current forwards. Chances. They can all play left, right, middle. My thing is this, all right? With Jesus, he's injury prone and he will get injured. Yeah. And I think people, they miss that about him. At Manchester City, he has missed a lot of games. I remember watching all the all or nothings and that, and the geezer was always on the injury bed. All right? I think he's fitting in well at Arsenal. But when things don't go well and they get injuries and that, he's going to suffer, and you're not going to be talking about that. I'm not interested in Arsenal at the minute. Arsenal will dip. I guarantee it. All right? But for me personally, if the Gaffer didn't want Jesus, then the Gaffer don't want Jesus. Why is everyone... Well, if we are... But my thing is, why is everyone trying to recommend all these players thinking they know that that's what we need? But the Gaffer's not looking at those players.
What we need
the
is
Gaffer
Haaland.
Knows what we want.
When you look at what
we should have bought Haaland instead of cement booted wrap.
Look at Haaland already. Look what he's done.
Everyone wants the world class. I was told Haaland can't play in a possession-based team. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? But apparently Lukaku's a better choice striker than Haaland. Muppets. Listen, I think at the end of the day, I just can't. I just want who the Gaffer wants, and right now Bowley needs to go in the market.
Listen, I was telling David earlier about Haaland. He agrees with me. When people were telling us that Haaland can't hold the ball up and he can't create and he doesn't benefit a team and you have to create for him or he goes missing. Did you see him today for Man City?
I haven't seen the game, mate.
They were 2-0 behind. They were 2-0 behind to Palace. And they come back and win 4-2 and Haaland scored a hat-trick.
Tuchel wanted Haaland. Yeah. He wanted him.
Say.
So that's all you need to know about it. Anyone who doesn't want Haaland or says, oh, no, he's going to leave in 2 years, I couldn't give a toss. If he goes and wins me a Premier League, Champions League, I'm all for it, yeah? But at the end of the day...
why are people coming for the manager as well? What is this? The guy ruins players. What is wrong with you?
What I've noticed, Jem, is that a lot of these large platforms, all the other platforms, they're little ring leaders, the little circles. They like to push this narrative of having a chip at the Gaffer, throwing digs at the Gaffer, blaming the Gaffer for a one loss against Leeds, right? Oh, we're not buying this player. Oh, we're not doing that player. End of the day, I said whatever player we sign, I'm happy with and I'm backing it because the Gaffer wants him. I don't think we're going to get Aubameyang. I definitely don't think we're getting Frankie de Jong for 100%. I don't think we're getting him. All right. If we do, great. All right. and I'll back it. But for me, I can see Gordon being the one. But they all, what they do is they want to criticise, but they're masking that criticism with underlying agenda. And I think everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. I'm a bit disappointed by your geezer Terry putting out that clip of that absolute wrong-un calling out Tuchel, saying Tuchel needs to go, Tuchel out, and
I've
this
never
and
even
that.
seen it.
Because what that does is that creates a narrative on that platform, and it pushes out that's what the fan base are thinking when the fan base ain't thinking that. But a lot of people are pushing this narrative.
There's a
And I don't
small minority of them that think like that,
it
though,
one
isn't
bit.
there?
I don't like it one bit. It's all
There's a
clickbait.
there's a small minority
It's
of them
clickbait
on
that's
Twitter
unnecessary on our football club right now.
that don't like him, you know, for whatever reasons. They feel that his style plays why the players ain't playing well. He plays people out of position. He hinders players is another one that I've heard as well, which I don't think is true. I just think, and I keep saying it when it comes to Tuchel and what we have, is that he needs more players that are versatile that can adapt to the way that we play. And the way he plays is a hybrid between two formations in between games. He plays a 3, he plays a 4, but it switches. And you can only do that at a certain level with the correct type of players in the team. Now, I'm not saying that all the players can't do it.
Who's the exact? I'll tell you who the correct player is. The correct player, and everyone knows it. The player that Thomas Tuchel wants is Declan Rice. We cannot get Declan Rice. So, are you going to go and get an average or lower quality player and spend 60, 70
Well, no,
million?
because he's not doing that, is he? He's not doing that, though, is he? He's not even looked at midfield, which tells me that he's waiting for something. He doesn't want to just get someone in that's going to be...
I know he's looked at Rice, and there's Rice there, but they're not going to pay 150.
That's my point. So
therefore, you've got to wait.
Yeah, you've got to wait.
What the Gaffer wants to do is try and get through a season so that you can get Declan Rice next year at a cheaper price, and then try and fix, like the Gaffer says, I want to fix the attack and I want to fix the defence first, which is the right thing to do. All right, everyone's going on about the midfield, and I get the midfield. Everyone knows that the midfield is a slight issue, but if the player's not available, then you can't do anything, and you have to make do.
No, that's my point.
That's it.
I've been saying to people so many times, bro. I've been saying this. We are not going to be able to sort out every position that we need to sort out in one season. It's just not going to happen. Like people need to accept that there will be, unfortunately, that going into this season, there's going to be areas that we kind of we play players in them positions to accommodate for a season. It doesn't mean specifically it's what he wants to do, but I don't think people understand when the word rebuild and transition comes into play. We are massively in between that at the moment. We've come to that stage where, you know, we've just sorted out Fofana and Koulibaly as our centre backs. You know, we've got Cucurella, who I actually thought had a very good game today. I thought he was very good. Yeah, as a wing backup for Chilwell, which has been good, or he's been playing. You know, we still need someone for Reece James. We still need we still need forwards because we've got forwards leaving, and we still need midfielders, and we need to get rid of people as well at the same time because we've got too many eights and other deadwood that shouldn't be in there. This is all things that can't be done in one blimmin' season, unfortunately, and this is what I'm saying.
No,
what people are angry about is priority. It's not about priority.
You're letting people go, Jem, is my point. Yeah, you're letting so many leave that you have to replace them. And unfortunately, if you're going to use youth, is the youth good enough quality to replace these players with? All right, because you don't want to go through this is my main concern, is going through the season with unhappy players that clearly don't want to be here and are trying to force. For example, let's say we know, or what we're hearing is that Pulisic open to leaving. We know Hakim Ziyech wants to leave. We know Cho wants to leave. So if you keep those three players because you can't bring any other players in, that is going to be so damaging going forward.
He's blocked
because what that does is it creates a divide in the dressing room, and the Gaffer clearly doesn't favour them. And then the Gaffer's going to turn around to Bowley and say, "We've had the whole summer. Granted, it's tough, but these players. I don't want Lukaku and I don't want Werner because he's obviously they're just dead meat. Yeah, they need to go, and he's done that. And we've brought in only one in Sterling, and we need to bring another one. Maybe it's Gordon, whoever that other one is, and then he's going to let go of Ziyech. Is that going to be an Aubameyang? All right. I don't know what they're doing. No one has a clue what they're doing. They're all talking like they do know, but no one really knows. So, you know, no one knew about this Russian kid. No one knew about Chuck Winnerals. And we've gone out and got Chuck Winnerals. We're bidding for this Russian kid out of the blue.
And we've got Casadei as well, haven't we? And,
Casadei. No one knew about Casadei. So at the end of the day, there are things going on behind the scene that not every brown envelope knows about and haven't reported on. And if they
Yeah,
have,
but
they haven't really highlighted it.
I don't mind
What's
him
the
being
plan
paid.
here?
No,
What's
the plan from what I can see here, and I'm fine with it, is that it could potentially be a long game. When you look at the players that they've bought, these young players that they bought for 15 mil and 20 mil, these are players that they're looking for the future. And I'm talking about top prospects across Europe that they're bringing in Casadei, Hutchinson, Carnes, and this other Russian guy that they've just got as well. These are 4 players that they're bringing in for, what I believe, which is for Chelsea moving forward. And then it's going to be down to these boys to get into the team at a later stage. But ultimately, why we buy them players is 2 reasons. They're going to they're going to get their opportunity at some point as they develop, as they get older. Secondly, if they don't get their opportunity because of, I don't know, because maybe they're just not as good as maybe we think they are or we thought they was. Yeah. Or 2, they go on loan, they have a great season. Yeah, they come back. We don't need them in the team because let's just say at that point we've got decent enough players within that squad and we sell them on for like 40, 50. So what I'm saying is we've got 2 ways we do it. We either sell them for profit or we get them in the team at a later stage. Later stage, which is fine. I'm cool with the whole thing of bringing in top young talent and giving them the opportunity to develop and potentially get into this team. That's fine. I'm good for that because, we are an aging team. You know that, Johnny. When you look at
Of course
Silva and
we are. Yeah, I
Aspilicueta
know.
and Jorginho and Kante and
We've got we've got players from 5 previous managers. That tells you everything you need to know. The task on hand for the Gaffer and for Bowley, in fact, is tough. But what I'm saying is, if we've got all this so-called money, right? Is Bowley's a negotiator? Bowley's not a billionaire for nothing. All right, he knows business.
He's a businessman. Yeah,
he's a businessman, and when you go in and do deals in transfers, it's about business. It's negotiating figures. It's negotiating deals, right? I'm not doubting that he's got that, but where I think there's false information is from the brown envelopes. I think the brown envelopes have portrayed Chelsea going in scattergun approach to all these players, which I don't believe. I don't believe we've gone in for half the 3/4 of the players that we've been linked to. So it makes Bowley look bad. It makes Chelsea look bad. And anything in association with Barcelona and Chelsea, it's only going one way to make us look bad. So my thing is, Bowley knows what Tuchel wants. Clearly, they've spoken how many times? What's going on? Why are certain deals not getting over the line? Because there must be players that we don't know about that they're trying to do. Yeah, they're trying to get done, and they can't get it over the line. So what's going on?
well,
And
definitely
if it's a case that they just
waiting
can't
game.
get these deals done,
Yeah,
or they're waiting near a transfer deadline day and play that risk of throwing the money, there is a tactic there. But like, we ain't got time now, and I don't think Tuchel's going to be happy, Jem. And I don't want to have an unhappy Gaffer going into the season with even more problems than what he had last year in terms of the squad depth, options. He knows the condition of the players. He knows who's going to be fit, who's not likely to be fit or injury prone. And they're in key areas. And that's where we're going to get hurt. Because let's have it right. When Jorginho, Kant, and Kovacic are fit, we are balling. Like, we are a fantastic team when we've got them at our disposal in their sort of like in their form, yeah, in their flow. Yeah. We know that with those 3 players, or even just 2 of them, we can be world beaters because the balance is there and they know the system. And I think you add a Fofana, a Kabali, you've got Thiago Silva in there, you've got Reece,
he's got some good players in.
He's got great players there as a first team.
Cucurella.
Then you've got Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Sterling. You might bring in a Gordon if you bring a Aubameyang, and I think you're starting to build something there. But the moment Kovacic and Kante get injured, it's like we haven't even. Sol was rubbish, yeah. He was terrible. All right. Is the Gaffer going to go? Do you know what? I think I have to give Billy Gilmore a chance. Is he going to be forced into that situation where he might not think he's ready, but he's got an opening here, and Billy's going to have to show his minerals and class? Because I don't think, if you're not buying a Frankie de Jong, you're definitely not getting a Declan Rice. So who is out there, Jem? Tell me players that are out there that we can go and buy? Do you know of any players? Can you
Well,
name any?
the market's definitely narrowed when you think about the players that were available at the beginning of the summer, and I'm talking about the Kamaras and the and some others, and you're looking at like someone like Sangari, Tchouaméni, who we know went to Real Madrid. Like there was players available for that position that we could have catered for. Obviously, if we were more aggressive, but we were always a month behind because of sanctions and when we actually got our new owners and whatever else, the window had already started. So I get that we were playing the catch-up game, at some point through the window, which is fair enough. But the thing for me, Johnny, and I keep saying is that we're not going to be able to. And I know you keep saying Tuchel won't be happy, and I get that. But surely the fact that he's on the front lines now with Bowley's obviously doing the negotiations. Tuchel's signing them off. He's obviously having conversations with Bowley on a daily basis in regards to transfers, what he wants, how they're going to approach it, and if it means that because where we are in the window that we can't accommodate that position specifically because we're getting to the latter end of the market, the people that we're approaching are overvaluing players, or the players are just not available, which is the case because a lot of teams have started their seasons, they want to keep their players, they're not thinking about losing them. Then you just go into next season and you get it done, but you make it clear to him that it's a priority, that it's something that will be sorted.
Look, we know irrespective, the Gaffer, listen, not like the
we haven't got a
agenda
DLF.
merchants. They think Gaffer's going to get sacked, all right? And the media, let's have it right.
He's not going to
The
get
brown
sacked.
envelopes, the media, the top tier, the Sky Sports, the Talk Sport, all the main platforms, the other platforms on all the YouTube platforms, yeah, they will put pressure on Thomas Tuchel. They're already starting it. It's already happening. They're going, oh, they spent money. We've hardly spent really money considering the outgoings and the wage structures getting balanced out, Lukaku, Werner and all that. All right. But they won't talk about Manchester City. They won't talk about Liverpool spending or Arsenal spending. Look how much Arsenal spent. No one's blinked an eyelid. All right. So the Gaffer needs another window. Obviously, goes without saying, maybe even 3, depending on how it goes. But don't expect the Gaffer to be sacked. He ain't getting sacked.
Yeah,
right?
Todd Bowley
Right.
not going to sack
But people are starting to push that geezer. Like,
because
if he doesn't get top 4, if he doesn't do this, if he does. Listen, our Gaffer got us top 3rd spot last year under the ridiculous circumstances. We ain't going to have those circumstances this year. What we've got is more of a squad issue, not stuff going all around the club as well as that. And I think Cucurella is almost like a lifesaver for me. Getting that signing
he's so good,
he was my top target, and I was so buzzing that we got him because we were fed by the brown envelopes. He only wants to go City, and I wonder how that went. But anyway, we got him, and this guy, when we get Chile as well back to fitness, we're going to be.
He was
lethal,
awesome today.
mate.
You know that he was really good.
He's a baller.
The way he progressively played today, set up the goals that he set up. He could have he's so good going forward. It's just exactly what we need in terms of someone being able to create. And that is going to definitely be a bonus for Chelsea, and that's an improvement. This is what I was going to say to people. That's an improvement. Koulibaly's an improvement.
You get massive improvement.
Fofana's an improvement. Sterling's an improvement.
Yeah.
So to say that we're not back, to say that Tuchel's going to be upset, I don't think that's the case. I think he's got players that he's happy with, players that have improved.
No. I think
what we haven't improved is the depth.
I think where he's going to be upset, Jem. Mm-hmm. Right? Let's not let me try and clarify this. Yeah. Mm. If he has to keep players that he knows don't want to be at the football club,
I agree. Yeah.
That's what he's not going to be happy about.
Yeah,
and that will be dependent on can we get players in once we let them go. And right now, that's why Hakim Ziyech hasn't gone. I think it was probably a close deal. I think Cho's open to going on loan, which is a loan, which is good. Gaffer's giving him a chance. He didn't sell Colwill. He's loaning Colwill.
That's a good move.
Giving him a chance. Great move. Yeah. All right. We paid a bit more to Brighton for that. So respect to the Gaffer for that and Bowley there. And he's kept Broha. So we do have a striker he can bed in.
Doesn't play.
We've got that option. No, but he's had an injury. He's had injury.
But what was wrong with him coming on for 10, 20 minutes today? Do you know what I mean? He could have. Do you know what I mean? He was on the bench, wasn't he? He could have put him on. You know, Havertz looked knackered.
Yeah,
in
but
the
I
end,
think,
like,
listen, do you know what? I think Kai put in a shift today, and I think why
he
risk
did,
it?
but then at the
Why
same
risk it?
time, you want Kai to be your main guy. You know,
Yeah,
rotation's
but
important.
I think Broha might get a shout on against Southampton. Maybe
Oh, they're playing
gets
Tuesday, aren't they? Yeah.
yeah,
You
they
going
might
to
get some
that game?
minutes there. So what I'm saying is the Gaffer's looking at the young players as well. My thing is Gallagher going to be part of the Gordon deal?
No, I
That
don't
would be
think
a big
Gallagher goes
decision for the
anywhere.
Gaffer.
I don't think Gallagher's going anywhere, mate. I think
Because I
Tuchel
know
wants him.
Lamps wants him. Lamps wants him. Is Lamps going to say to Everton, "Look, I want Gallagher if you're letting go of
Well,
Gordon."
Lamps said that Gordon was going nowhere at the moment. That's what he was kind of saying, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's just doing the normal routine, isn't he? It's the normal routine.
I don't think Gallagher goes anywhere. I actually think Tuchel rates him still, and I think when you look at what he did today, when he came out on was it on Instagram saying that you know he's sorry to let down the team, and
Yeah,
that,
good
you know,
good
like,
on him, man.
you know, he knew
Yeah,
that he'd done wrong. Like, that's fair
yeah.
enough. Like, that goes far for me for a player to come out and say, look, I fucked up. Like, I shouldn't have done what I did. Like, he accepts it. Do you know what I mean? And he's still very young. I just don't think he's ready for Chelsea yet. To be honest, when I look
Well, I
at
said that as well.
his
Yeah,
game,
he's a
I don't.
squad player. He's a
He
squad
is,
player.
but at the
Bed him
same
in.
time, we don't play a system that accommodates him anyway. So playing him in a six is irrelevant because he's not a six. It's not going to get. You're not
Do
going to
you
get him
think?
there.
Yeah. Do you think Chelsea signing Frankie De Jong?
No. Fluid
Yeah.
though. I wish we would. Like, don't get me wrong. I wish we would. I think he's the top player, but I just, mate. If the Frankie De Jong wanted to come to Chelsea, he wouldn't be doing what Dembele's doing, is he? Fucking what? Bending over for Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? Like they all do, unfortunately, for whatever reasons. But you know, he's a good player, Frankie De Jong. I wouldn't turn him away. I don't think any Chelsea player. Would you turn him away? Surely not.
What, Frankie De Jong?
Yeah.
No, I'll take him, but I think I think he's lowering his wages. He's going to stay, and I've always said that. I've stood
I
by it
agree with
from
that.
day one. I never bought into what they were feeding about Frankie De Jong, and I think they're just using Chelsea. And I think if he does go anywhere, he's going Man United. I don't think he's going Chelsea because I think
Why would
Man
he go Man
United
United?
because they're stupid enough to pay him 500 grand a week and pay the 18 million on top of the 70 or 80 million transfer fee. That's why. And I think let's not be stupid here.
Casemiro's there.
You think Man United are going to negotiate all this time without talking to the player and the agent? Let's be real about it.
No, that's true. That's true. But at the same time, I don't think Frankie De Jong would want to go to them. I think he wants Champions League football. That's one thing that I think he will want and favour, and that will favour us. But at the same time, I just don't think Chelsea spend stupid money, and I think Man United would. I don't think Bowley wants
I just think if the Gaffer said to Bowley on a real, if the Gaffer said, I want Frankie De Jong and I'd absolutely want him, I think Bowley would go and spend the money.
I don't think, but the reason they're not spending that money is because they want the player to want the move. There's no point of them putting money forward for a player that wants to just stay where he is.
Right.
And,
Because no one knows what the player wants.
Well, we
No
kind
one
of do,
knows.
don't we? The fact that he's gone quiet for so long. He doesn't want to leave Barcelona. He wants to stay, and that's fair enough. Like, you know, I don't know. I just think the midfield are very limited, and unfortunately, we're going to have to use eights in the system that doesn't suit him. And I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as much as I don't like him in the sixth role, is probably better than what Gallagher is, from what I saw today. You know, he's played in it a lot longer.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right, Jem? All right, he played the 4-3-3 in the first half to pack the midfield. We know Ruben ain't got that much legs, yeah, but he's got that technical ability. He's got ability to be strong in the midfield, shield off players, hold the ball, blah blah. But his distribution's questionable at times. I don't say questionable. I say it's inconsistent. Yeah,
that's true.
And then with Gallagher, he's like your work engine. He's trying to be your Kante, go and win the ball back, recover, and play it simple. And Georgie's your metronome. All right, but they have to protect Jorginho. I think we got caught out a lot of times. Then we got the red card. And if you noticed in the second half, he kept Loftus-Cheek with Jorginho in the double six. And then he put Reece James instead of right back, right wing back, Cucurella instead of left back, left wing back. And we played Trev Chalobah on the left-hand side, Asby on the right, Silva in the middle. And then you played the two in front of Kai Havertz and Sterling. And what that does is it gives you defensive solidity. It gives you the ability to hit them with pace, width, and trickery.
Yeah.
and keep possession at the same time. And that's why the Gaffer was elite in this tactical masterclass today.
Did you go up to him or was you sitting near him? I saw a picture of him earlier. Was it?
No, so when I came out at half time, the game had just kicked off and he was there, and I just done a sneaky one, like, because obviously I ain't gonna go up to him during a fucking game while he's in full concentration mode watching the game. You can't do that.
No.
So I just done a cheeky, look at the Gaffer's there. And he was fully focused, mate, like literally fully focused. And I don't know, on Sky Sports Day, probably, or no, it wasn't on live, was it? It'll be on Match of the Day, but they'll probably zoom up on Tuchel throughout the game, see his reactions to stuff and whatnot. I haven't seen that, so I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But the Gaffer was there. You miss him in the dugout. Very important to have the Gaffer in the dugout. And I think the players that performed second half, very hard for them, but they stepped up and they landed minerals, and that's all you can ask for. And that's why agendas should be put aside. But obviously, all the numpties, they want to come out with their agendas and that. Let them come out of it. That's fine. But you're down tooling your football club with those agendas. You're talking. That's for rivals to do.
What's your thoughts on your boy Mason Mount being taken off, though? Do you think it was the right decision or at the time?
Yeah, of course. Listen, you got to sacrifice one of them, and he sacrificed Mount, and that was it. I think the combination of
why does he look so not on it though? What do you think? What's wrong with him?
No, he's on it. His positions are fantastic. The problem is he doesn't get the fucking ball.
It's just not he don't feel for me as effective at the moment. Is that maybe because he's not getting the ball? I don't know, but he just doesn't.
Yeah, it is that. No, that's exactly why. He doesn't get the ball in the right position at the right time, and that cost us in the Leeds game. It cost us in this first half. It's a similar situation. Even Sterling wasn't getting the ball enough, and when he did, he had two players, or he tried to take on too many players. Kai Havertz is sort of like surrounded by the two centre backs or whatever. So, but my thing is, I saw Mount in more than two occasions, in positions with his hands up. Reece was doing the same. Cucurella was doing the same, and they don't get the ball, and that was the problem, because Gallagher's got his head down chasing the ball to try and win it back. Jorginho, when he gets the ball, he takes a couple touches. By then, they're out of position. The opposition's got in their positions. That's it. Your channels are blocked. Mason Mount was very frustrated in that first half. And there was one moment I clocked, and I can't remember if it was Jorginho or it was Loftus-Cheek. And all he had to do was play Mount the ball, and he was literally on the shoulder of the defender one-on-one, where he could go and attack the space and link up with Kai. And the pass got intercepted, and because that pass got intercepted and he didn't play it early enough, he played it too slow. Mount's hands went mental. He went, fuck's sake, and he had to pelt it back because he knew the transition was with them attacking us, and we were going to get caught out, and that's what happened. And that's not Mount's fault. That's the midfield's fault. It's not his fault he's in the position not getting the ball, but people just want to slander him because they're just haters. They're idiots, yeah? Because they've always been muddied by him for the last 3 years. My thing is, right, you had to take Mason Mount off unless you play him in a double six with Jorginho, all right? I think Mount influences the game better than Loftus-Cheek, but I think Loftus-Cheek was in his element now. Maybe, and the Gaffer thought, do you know what? Mace has played a lot of minutes. He's not getting involved they're not getting him in the game. So he sacrificed pace of Sterling and keeping a striker-esque position up top for Mason Mount. And I get it. And it worked. And that's it. If it didn't work, I'd be like, you don't take Mason Mount off, but it does work. And it's not down to Mason Mount's performance. It's down to the way the balance of the team was and the way that he wasn't getting the ball. If you don't give Mason Mount the ball, how do you expect him to influence the game and create? He's a highest chance creator.
It's like Kai Havertz, isn't it? Same thing. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's exactly what I'd say about Kai Havertz as well. I think the same thing applies, but I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's going to be it's weird because
I think. Do you know what, Jim? I think once you get a Fofana, who's quick at playing it out the back, Koulibaly, you'll have Cucurella, Chilwell option. You have Reece James on the right wing back. And I think when Reece James and Mason Mount on the right-hand side, they're lethal. And I think if you get that Kovacic in there with Jorginho or Kante, and I think our first team on paper, I think is a world beater. I generally do. When we're on it, we'll beat anyone in that system. But the problem is we have too many injuries and deficiencies in the squad that you can't play your first team like that every single game. So you have to rely on squad players, other players to step in, and they're not good enough. Yeah. And that puts more pressure on your Reece James, your Mason Mount, your Kai Havertz, your Sterling's, Jorginho, Silva. All your first, like, you can't play them every game, geezer. It's just not realistic.
I just thought we would have got more with Mount. I thought Mount, Havertz, and Sterling could have been it. In terms of like when you think about the chemistry and the link up and the style.
I think it will be. I just think that the midfield and the centre back situation has killed us.
I just don't like Mount in that forward position. If he could play just behind, and we had another creator out there, someone that was a bit like Sterling, direct, quick. Creative. Like I think that's when I think you'll be able to see the best out of like maybe 4 of them on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like we need something else more forward. I think not Mount in that position. I think Mount.
Do you know why? The thing is, the problem, right, is in this system, right? Mason Mount has delivered, right? He's been our best output in the front line.
I just don't think it's his position though.
No, we know the Gaffer knows that. Of course, he knows that. But the problem is he can't change the system because he doesn't have the players to change the system.
Yeah, I get that.
And I mean, you can't play Jorginho with that back four with a Thiago Silva back four. It's just not going to happen. All right. So what does the Gaffer need? He needs that DM. We know that. We can't get the DM. So that's it. You're stuffed there unless you go and get a makeshift DM, a one that's a stopgap. But is that really the way to go and waste money like that? And you've got to be clever. And then what happens is the Gaffer uses Mason Mount as a right or left forward, and he makes him work as an 8, as a 10, all in one role. And this is where people don't understand about Mason Mount, is that when he's in that position, he has to offer that as well. The Gaffer demands more out of him than any other player because he's having to play more than one position. We don't hear that with Kai Havertz. We don't hear that with Sterling. We don't hear that with Jorginho. We don't hear that with Kovacic or Kante. We don't hear that with Reece James or Cucurella or all the centre-back. Only Mason Mount is the only one that has to play more than basically 3 positions in one position. And that's where people have to understand that is very demanding from Thomas Tuchel. And the fact that he plays him tells you that he can't drop someone like that.
He never drops him. He always
plays. You won't. I'm not protecting. Listen, people in the chat, I'm not protecting Mount. Listen, I defend my boy all day long. But if you want to hate on him, absolutely right, I'm going to defend him. But I'm trying to explain to you and give you information that people don't tell you. They don't explain this stuff. That's why I got my platform. The fact of the matter is, this kid can play 6 positions. This kid could play the double 6. No problem. He'll play the double 6. The Gaffer doesn't play him. Do you know why? Because he's too important to not have him in the front 3 right now. And on top of that, the other players that are at his disposal don't want to be at the football club. So what's he going to do? Is he going to play unhappy players in a big game where we've just come off a loss? No. He has to play Mason Mount now. And Mason Mount will give you the 8-10 position. But if you don't give him the ball when he's in the position to receive the ball, what do you expect him to do? What impact can he have? And I'm sorry, that's down to your midfield.
Yeah, the midfield's
it's imbalanced.
We know the midfield's an issue. We know the midfield's an issue. We know that I even think the forward is still something we need to address as well, just purely because we've got so many players trying to want to leave, not want to be there. Ziyech, Werner's gone now. Pulisic, for me, doesn't really look happy, if you want my honest opinion. When I look at him, he just doesn't look...
No, he's not. I saw him on the bench today. He didn't look happy, and he came on and he didn't look like,
He just looked lazy.
He didn't look like someone that wanted to, I want to play for Chelsea. I'm going to prove the Gaffer wrong. You got to play me. And people are saying, drop Mason Mount and put Pulisic. You're in dream world, mate. You're in absolute dream world. You know what? So I wouldn't put it past the Gaffer. Maybe drop him Mount. to kick to just like
Give him a kick,
shake him up.
kick up the arse. Yeah.
It's a bit unfair, to be honest, because at the end of the day, he deserves to play. But I think Gaffer's he likes to do things like that, but he needs to do it to a lot of other players. And right now, he's doing it to too many because they don't want to be there. Whereas Mount wants to be there. Mount deserves to play. Mount deserves to play. And at the end of the day, once you get Kovacic in there, Jim, with Jorginho, you're going to see Mount more influential because he'll get the fucking ball.
I just think Kovacic is more. I mean, we know how important Kovacic is and how good he is in that position. But with him, Cucurella, Reece James, I think between the three of them, you have what. I think you have creativity there between the three. I still think we need a bit more, but don't get me wrong. I think that will do if we can keep Kovacic fit, and it's going to have to involve rotation. We need Kante back, and Kante is going to be important to get back in. Ruben Loftus-Cheek will be used as rotation in between that as well. Where we just lack the depth at the moment is the forward line, because we've got players like you said that don't want to be there, players that don't look like they want to be there in Ziyech and Pulisic, right?
Yeah, this is a problem, mate.
Brower's there, and I think he will get opportunities, but still need more there because you've got Mount, Havertz, Sterling. We can't play these boys every single game for 90 minutes. Eventually, they're going to need.
This is my thing, Jem. So at some point, right in the next 4 days, they're going to go and make some signings in forwards or like attacking positions. Who do you think those players are going to be? Do you think Gordon and Aubameyang, that's it?
So, yeah, if it was my opinion, I'll be honest with you, and a lot of people might not agree with me on this, but I think Wilfried Zaha would be a good shout. And the only reason I say that, the only reason I say that, purely reason why I say that, is because what Zaha has in his game is the ability to be able to take a player on in tight spaces, all right? He has the ability to create. He is a creator. He doesn't score the level of goals. Don't get me wrong, my big question mark of him would be the goals. But I just think that he would suit in the way that we play, in a team that dominates possession and has a lot of the ball. I think Wilfried Zaha could work as a stopgap. I'm not saying he's the answer. No, this unbelievable.
This is the thing, Jem. He won't come as a stopgap. This is his big contract. This is his.
Because
29 years old.
Well, with Aubameyang, we're offering him 2 years plus a 1 year extension. So we are offering these contracts. That is what we're being told.
I'll be real with you. Gordon is clear of Zaha.
See, the thing with Gordon, right? And I'll say it. A lot of people are scapegoating the boy, saying he's not good enough and he's a beat. We've got Callum Hudson-Odoi. Why are we getting Gordon when we got Hudson-Odoi and we're sending him on loan? And it's not the same thing. I get that he's not got a proven track record because he's not been around long enough, and that's true. And he does play for Everton. But you can see that there's a raw talent in the player. I don't think he's 60 million. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think he should be anywhere near that sort of money. I think that's a lot of money. But the one thing he does offer is he is very versatile and he's direct and he's quick. And, the reason I said Zaha and not Gordon is because with Gordon, I think you could utilise him as a wing-back as well. I think he could be used more in a versatile way in the Tuchel system. With Zaha, I would want him to just play off the right or the left.
I'll tell you this now, Jim, Zaha ain't giving you work rate. Forget Zaha, it ain't happening. I'll tell you with Gordon. Shall I tell you something about Gordon, Gordon, for me, is like a young Sterling type player. Someone who's got the ability to dribble.
Yeah, he has got that.
To run off a man, to link up play. He likes to press. He likes to win the ball back, and he's fearless. He's young, and he's not injury prone, and he's Premier League proven to an extent, right? He's played minutes in Premier League. That's all you need. He ticks all the boxes. Now, where I think the key signing is actually in this moment in time, and I want to see what the Gaffer does. But I actually think that there might be an opportunity to, now you brought in Fofana, I think he might play a back four with Fofana.
He has the option to, 100%.
And Koulibaly.
The midfield that's the
and
issue.
rest Silva. And then what happens is he can put Mason Mount in the 8-10 role with the two behind him. And I think Gordon will go in the front three with Havertz and Sterling. You have Mason Mount behind with a
Kovacic.
What
is that, 4-2-3-1?
And
what is that?
So it'd be it'd be a 4-2-1-3.
4-2-1-3. Okay. So you can say
basically Mason Mount's at the top of the
I get what you're saying.
Of the double sixes. Yeah,
you're still accommodating the two because we haven't got the DM. So what you're saying is you still have two sixes. You just have one.
So you still got the defensive capability of the 2 6s there, but you also you allow Mount to link up closer to them, to progress the ball, create, but also have Sterling and Gordon linking up, cutting in, and Kai Havertz roaming. And I think that is maybe Fofana is the golden ticket for that. Maybe.
I think Fofana gives us the option to play the 400% even
Yeah.
more so.
Yeah.
Even more so now, because him and Koulibaly can. Silva can actually be rested. You can actually play Koulibaly
Yeah,
and
because
Fofana as your back two. Your two centre backs, and have Reece James and Cucurella as your your fullbacks as well, which I think is perfect. I think that's a very good back four. I think our defence is sorted now. Now we've got Fofana. I don't worry about it because we've got so many different things we can do with it. Threes, fours, whatever we want to do. Cucurella, Fofana, and Koulibaly have given us the opportunities to be strong at the back, to adapt. They're versatile. That's not a problem. I agree with you with the. I think it could look like that if he wanted to go to 4-2-1-3.
yeah,
And you have
because
Mason. I think Mason
you know,
Mount would be better in that position because that's where I think he naturally should be anyway.
right. That is where
But,
Frank played him, and that's where he
yeah.
balled out. That's what Tuchel got out of him, as well as playing him as a forward. But right now, because of the deficiency in the squad, he can't get that out of Mount because the balance ain't there. Whereas before we had the balance with Kovacic, Kante, and all that. Remember when we played, for example, when we played Real Madrid away and home, all right, and you had Kante and Jorginho, correct? We did have Cover, all right. But what Mason Mount did was match the midfield three playing in the forward line. And when you use Mount like that and you've got the right balance, it works and he creates. But right now, I've seen since the start of the season, I haven't seen it because the midfield ain't there. I only saw it in the Spurs game because we had Kante.
Yeah, that's true. And I think
I honestly think maybe the Fofana deal is like actually the biggest deal right now.
maybe
As
that's
in, like,
why
it's
Bowley
the
wanted
most
it.
pivotal deal because it allows the Gaffer to be flexible.
We
with
still
a back four,
need
back
another
three.
forward though. That's the problem though.
No, I think that will come. Like Gordon will come, and I don't buy the Aubameyang thing. I think they might go in for a cheeky Leo. Maybe they just go. Here's the money. Let's try and get him because a lot of clubs want him.
He's a good player. He is. I haven't watched loads of him, but from what I've
I haven't
seen,
watched a lot of him, but obviously he's got minerals, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what he is? He's another player that can take the ball and dribble and attack the space. And that's ultimately what we want in this in our team. I think we need more direct.
Nkuku's the one he really wants, but we can't get him.
Well, we get him just next summer. It's just we just have to be patient with it all. Do you know what I mean? Like people just need to realise.
My thing is, can we? I get it, but is the Gaffer comfortable enough, knowing that you're not going to get these players? You've got to wait one more year. Does he really think that we can? I mean, he's going to try. Obviously, don't get me wrong. He's not going to give up, but does he believe that? Yeah, I'm sad because he said at the end of preseason, we're not ready for the start of the league. And he's fucking right. We're not.
No, we're not.
You can tell we're not.
But then if he knows that, then he's accepting that. So that tells me that he knows that we're just not going to be able to sort out all our positions. That's what I'm saying. So like maybe he's realising that we need more time. And I'm down with that. But what Chelsea fans need to get in their heads or understand is that they need to understand their expectations of what they expect with what we have. Because for me,
top four.
For me, it's right. Top four's fine. Yeah, it would be nice to close the points difference to the top as well. Don't get me wrong. That would be nice as well. I think we can if we can not get any injuries, key injuries, and we can have good rotation and keep the squad fit. I think we could do that. I do with Tuchel. I'm not too thingy about that. But if it means top four and no trophy, and we go into the next window and we only need maybe two more players, we go and get another forward and we get a DM in Rice, maybe Thiago Silva leaves and maybe we look at another defender, who knows, let's just say, then I'm cool with that because at least we know where we're going and what direction we're going in. But as long as Tuchel's happy with that, as long as Tuchel is willing to stick around for that, because I do feel that he is. The fact that he's come out and said transition, he said rebuild, he knows this ain't going to happen in one window. He knows that these owners are playing catch up in the window and trying to do it. I actually think Bowley's done a very good job, to be honest. I know he's missed out on certain things and took a bit long here and there, but I actually think he's done.
Listen, I've said he's done a great job, but my thing is sometimes because you haven't got time to get people in place. All right, but you know who the gaffer wants. Sometimes you just have to pay the money, and maybe he just doesn't want to pay the money.
That's fine though, as long as it's like I don't mind us not spending stupid money like we did back in the day on players that are not worth that money. I'm cool
Yeah,
with
but
that.
Jem, not being funny. If you went and spent, argument's sake, you go and spend 150 million on Declan Rice, yeah, all right, argument's sake, because we're not going to do that.
No,
But let's just say, to me, the way I look at it, it's worth more to me, the manager, the club, split that 150 million over an 8-year period because the kid's going to stay for the rest of his career. Yeah, it's worth more to me and to guarantee us competing at a high level and giving the gaffer tactical flexibility. But maybe the gaffer's looked at it and he said, "Do you know what? If I get a Fofana, if we don't get Rice this year, we get him next year, and we're saving some sort of money. I want to put that into this and this and this, yeah, on top of what we want, and maybe that's the strategy. But my thing is, I think the gaffer is too involved in this now, with all the football going on, trying to coach, trying to train, got unhappy players. It's a lot on his plate at the minute, and I think the gaffer's doing an amazing job as always, yeah, but." Bowley needs to like take a bit of pressure off him at the minute because if he doesn't, it's going to affect results. And I think the Leeds game was one of the reasons. I genuinely think that, you know. Can you imagine if we don't get Fofana or if we didn't get Fofana, where do you turn next? And the gaffer is desperate.
Yeah,
he's desperate for two centre backs at a minimum. He needs 3 really because Silva's going to last year. So if you don't get Fofana, fuck me, maybe stressed out the gaffer thinking I might not even get Fofana. Bowley's like, I'm not prepared to pay 80 million. You know, I'll pay this. How good is he? He doesn't even know about football. He doesn't know about football. So he's just going by maybe some advisors and Tuchel. You know, there's a lot of that going on, I think. So maybe the whole Fofana thing is a catalyst to what we do from now to the end of the season, potentially.
I think he's a big. Listen, I moaned about.
Yeah, he's a big one, isn't he? He's a big one.
I moaned about the price of the player because I do feel that.
I don't care.
He's still overvalued in my opinion, but I always do that. It's just the
way
I am.
Do you know what though, Jem? At the age he's at and the quality he is, and the
fact that worries me with
the fact he wants to come.
Yeah, no, I think he's a top prospect. I like the player. I think he's perfect for us and everything. What worries me a little bit, 64 games. He's missed 64 Premier League games since 1920. All right, he had a broken leg on one of them, which put him out for 60. I think he put him out for 60 days or something when I looked into it. But I just it's a lot of money, but I do think he's a top player, and I think at the end of the day, we needed that player massively. And as much as I thought Chalobah had a good game today. I thought he played well. You know, when he came in,
right, yeah.
You know, I think we underlooked Chalobah. I think he's actually a decent player to have.
I think why he had a good game. Why he was all right. All right, it's a bit harsh. I think he did very well in the circumstances that he played out of position. He switched he played the central back 4 first half on the right side, and then he played on the left side in the back 3, and he hasn't had any Premier League minutes. And I think for that reason, I think the rustiness, the mistakes, a little off, the misjudgments is just that. It's just match sharpness and not being at it. And I think maybe he feels a little bit like, oh, maybe the gaffer don't want me. You know, I'm going to leave anyway, but he still played for the club, and I respect Trev for that. You know, minerals to him. I would love Trev to stay, you know. I want him to stay, really. I want that depth with him but at the same time, he's had a taste of first team football. You know, it goes to that whole thing again. They're players, they want to play minutes. They don't want to sit on the bench.
I get
that. And if Fofana's coming in, he knows, where am I going to play, Gaffer? When am I going to play? What? I've gone from playing first team football to playing Carabao Cup now and FA Cup. You know,
I get that. You know, and to be honest, I don't blame him for wanting to leave knowing that Fofana's in, because he's going to have limited game time, isn't he? Let's be serious. Like, Fofana's going to play a lot of it, but at the same time, I do expect rotation on him as well, because I'm just a little bit worried about his He's just his track record of his injuries. That's the only thing. For as much money as we spent on him as well, I want him to
Yeah,
be
but
able to.
has he been injured since he broke his leg though?
So before that, he missed 24 games or something.
Yeah, but then he done the damage, didn't he? Yeah.
And then he done the damage, which put him out for like
All right.
60 odd games or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
All
So
right. And then did he not play all of last season?
no, I don't think he played all of last season. But
And he's that good after a broken leg.
yeah, he's.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you're buying a baller. You're buying a Minerals General
he
there.
is. He is.
broke
But
his leg and
when you
he's come
come,
back better.
when you come to Chelsea and you're playing 50 games a season, let's be serious. You're playing 50 games a season minimal. Or you're right. You don't play 50. You might play 40. That's a lot of games for a player that's had a serious injury, especially injury that he's had. So and he's going to be relied upon. He's going to be playing. He's going to play 4. He's going to play 3s. He's young. What's great about it as well? I think part of the reason why he wanted to come so much to Chelsea was that he sees the opportunity to learn from Thiago Silva and Koulibaly, but I think more so Thiago Silva. And if I'm a young defender like him coming in and has the opportunity to for one season play with this player and learn from him and then kick on from him, and he's as good as he is as a raw talent.
Yeah.
That makes me even more excited, Johnny.
Because he actually said that he wants to play with.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes.
And I think, like, you got a player that's hungry. He wants to play at the club. I tweeted it earlier. Proper Chelsea. He's wearing a Chelsea shirt as a kid. I love that.
Yeah.
So he wants to come to Chelsea. He's forced to move. He's done his part. He's played his role as well in getting this move. Respect to him for not wanting to play. His head not right. He wants to leave. Just wants it agreed. Now it's getting agreed. Now a medical's going to happen and all that business. He's coming to a club where he's going to elevate his career. He knows the World Cup's coming. He's going to be balling out, this kid. And what I've seen from him, he's no slouch. He's quick. He's got technical ability. And did you notice something? Because I saw a stat between him and Trev Chalobah. Granted, Trev on the right hand side was better, like certain stats, because that's probably down to minutes as well. But if you look at the heat map, Fofana on the left hand side had heat on his left hand side. Fofana has the ability and wants to develop playing on the left side as well as the right, and that is something Tuchel will love, because he's versatile in case of injuries. Or let's say you're playing PSG. Neymar's on the on your right, Fofana, but Mbappe's killing Koulibaly, and they put Mbappe on that side. You could switch Fofana to the left and put Koulibaly on the right, so Fofana can deal with Mbappe and Koulibaly. Do you get what I'm saying? You can make those tactical adjustments, but with a Trev, you can't do that. With an Asby, you can't do that. You couldn't even do that with a Christensen. You can't do that with Rudiger because he'd play on the left, because you only had him on the left. So already you can see versatility. Koulibaly left, right. Fofana left, right. Thiago Silva can play left, right.
It's the versatility that I kept stressing to people that this manager wants. And when they sit there and everyone goes, "I know, but I know Tuchel wants to go to a back 4 only. I can't wait to just switch the back 4. The back 4 is everything. The back 4 for this, for that." That might be ultimately the plan to have at a later stage, starting games. But let me tell you something now about this manager. And if you don't know about this already, I know you know about this, but some of you Chelsea fans don't know the type of manager we've got, it's pretty fucking clear and evident. He likes having hybrid formations, which means he needs players that can adapt to 2 fucking systems, maybe even 3, depending on how we play in games. He's not someone that's like Klopp, that's very naive and sticks to one system, doesn't have a plan B, and plays. So he needs players that can play to that fucking system, or systems, systems. And that's when you will see the best of Thomas Tuchel and his ideas as a manager. Until we get the right profile players, we will suffer in certain positions. And that is the truth.
When he has done that, I think he done it against Spurs, and when he has done it last season, we won all those games and we dominated.
Exactly. There you go.
And this is why I think Fofana, that's why Declan Rice is key.
Yeah.
Because what Declan Rice does, he can slot into that. If you're playing that back 4, all right, you can convert into a back 3 wing-back system, so your fullbacks become wing-backs within the game, and Declan Rice could be your protector for those two centre-backs and create a free centre-back if needed, or a recovery position to give solidity and sit. We haven't got anyone that can do that. And he's built for it as well. He's got the build. He's got his first thought is to go forward. He's got all these attributes, but he unlocks that. But I think the Gaffer might, like I say, think with Fofana, you can maybe tweak it a little bit and get away with it where you can play that back four, and that will excite everyone because he's a ball-playing centre-back. Now we've got, if you look at our back line now, our first team back line, Thiago Silva ball player all day long, Koulibaly ball player, Cucurella ball player, Reece James ball player, Chile is a ball player, and now Fofana, all across the back. So if you create that solidity and that defence, which is solid, no matter how much your midfield lose the ball, you know you've got that quality there under high pressure moments to distribute the ball to a Chelsea player. We didn't have that under Rudiger. Was a bit rash, I thought, and he loved to go forward too much. And then you got Christensen ain't got that. The amount of times he buckled under pressure, how many times?
It's been consistent.
He's got
Koulibaly 2 games. He balled it with his movement forward, his progressive. But he was I think it was.
And he's got that long ball as well.
Yeah.
He's got a long ball in him.
Right foot. He can use both. Fofana, look at stats. Progressively, very good at Leicester. Like I'm talking about carrying the ball forward and playing the ball quickly. He had like an 88%. I think it was against his passing forward. That's how, like, in terms of like successful passes forward, like he's got a strong passing percentage rate. You know, but Johnny, I'm going to shoot because my battery's about to go on this phone and I don't want to cut off. It's like 2%. So
you're right, Geezer. Yeah, no worries, mate.
I'll catch up with you in a bit. Yeah, make sure you smash the like. Always big up the Chels.
Yeah, big up, Geezer, up the Chels. Hey, guys, like and subscribe, guys. Like, subscribe. I don't know what likes I'm on. I should be well over 250 likes, mate. Get me up, people. Just Call Me Dave says fact is when Dave came on, we were 0-0. We won 2-1. Dave is the GOAT. That's it. That's the comment. Let's have it right. Vic in here goes, Minnels, I saw you Everton away next to Lewis, but I was scared to approach. You're so damn tall. Listen, you should come up, mate. If you see me, come and say hello, Geezer. Don't be silly. I know you're having a laugh, but you should just say hello, Geezer. Big up to you anyway. Is that it? 167. Come on. 200 minimum, guys. Like and subscribe, guys. Let me just run through this, guys. I'm way behind the chat, obviously. I think, you're saying you're not confident about top 4. Still early, but we can really look off the pace and still need more quality in midfield for me. I feel secure despite it. Well, I think me and Jem have just covered it there, and I think it's got some great points in there. Some real minerals landed tonight. And I think the Fofana signing could be... It's a big one, guys. It's a big one. I really think that. I really do think that. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, look, everyone knows how much I love Billy Esther Goatmore, yeah? Maybe the Gaffer's going to keep him, guys. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be unpredictable. This week's going to be carnage. It's going to be carnage, guys. Big up Bobby in here. Chalobah's going to get minutes if he stays. That's brown envelope disinformation. I think he will get minutes. I just don't think he'll get as many minutes as he got the last sort of 2 seasons. Last season, sorry. I just don't know if you bring in, but we need rotation. Look, the Gaffer can't really let him go if you don't get that extra centre back. Otherwise, you're going to have to play Reece there. If you play Reece there, unless you get a right wing back cover, then you'll get, you can do that. But let's see, guys, what happens. Let's see, guys. There is a lot of twists and turns in this market. There's a lot of twists and turns. 192. Guys, get me to 220 likes. There's 223 people in here. Get me to the 223 likes, guys. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. If you're new in here, subscribe, guys. Help it grow. Let's see what you got here. Is that what he said? Just call me Dave. Well, then there you go. So maybe that's the thought process behind the game. Maybe the brand envelopes are pushing that Trev wants to leave. Maybe that's what it is. But I think we keep Trev. I wouldn't let him go anyway, regardless. And he, like I say, he did well. He did well today, considering no run-up, no Premier League minutes. Looked a bit shaky. Few little misplaced passes that could have cost us. But we got through it. We got through it and we won the game. And that was the most important thing. And now he can build that, take that match shot, that match fitness, that game time of at that level into maybe the next game that he plays. That's the positive there. Big up to everyone. Big up to Messi Montana. Big up Thomas in here. Of course, there is 100% is an agenda, full-blown agenda on Chelsea Football Club. Full-blown. But listen, guys, like and subscribe. Thank you to everyone in here. Thank you for watching, all the support, everyone in the chat. Big up to every single one of you. I'm buzzing today. I'll leave you with the usual routine. And I'll see you soon, people. Yeah? But thank you very much for watching. I'm buzzing. I'm tired. It's been a long day, a great day out. I'm buzzing for it. And on to the next game. Hopefully lots of good things are going to happen in the transfer market. Either way, we've got Super Tommy Tuchel, and he knows exactly what we need. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Let's have it right. Pride of London. London is blue. Let's have it right. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Let's have it right. Minerals FC. Gaffer, you got the minerals, yeah? Love it. Got the minerals, TT.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.